Hello, Eurovision friends. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, Eurovision Histories. We are now officially in off-season, and I promise you in my review of the grand final that I would have some content to fight that post-Eurovision depression. And today I want to do one of my Eurovision song battles, this time with the last 5 winners of Eurovision. In Eurovision Song Battle, I look at different songs, put them up against each other in rounds, looking at different aspects of the songs and performances, giving points to the best songs. I can give 2 points to one song or 1 point to 2 songs each. And then at the end of the video, we will also have your votes. You guys voted in the community tab of my channel. A lot of you did, actually. And your votes can completely change the outcome of this battle. So in a way, the first part is my personal opinion and is kind of the jury. And the last part is your guys' vote, and so kind of like the televote. So today we have Duncan Laurance and Arcade for the Netherlands, Maneskin and Zitti buoni for Italy. We have Kalush Orchestra and Stefania for Ukraine. We have Queen Loreen and Tattoo for Sweden. And we have Nemo and The Code for Switzerland, our most recent winner, obviously. So let's get right to it. The first round is staging. So which song was staged the best? And this also includes choreography. I mean, I think the Netherlands are a bit out here because I did like the simplistic staging and how they focused on song and voice, but it wasn't my favorite. Maneskin, of course, put basically a rock concert on that stage, which was really cool. Kalush Orchestra, not so sure maybe because of the sun. I loved the graphics. I loved a lot of the choreography as well and the costumes as well. But yeah, I liked others a bit more. Loreen, obviously, that song was really elevated by that staging. And then Nemo, I mean, that staging and that everything that went into that, the thought process, amazing. So this is already hard. So again, I can give 2 to 1 song or 1 to 2 songs. And I would give the first point to Loreen because the staging just elevates this song so much, makes it more impactful, and it's also one of the iconic Eurovision stagings. You can also make fun of it, that it's like a toaster or a panini grill or anything like that, but still. And the second point I would give to Nemo and The Code, because also the staging and everything that happens is connected to the song. It tells the story of the song, the emotional highs and lows, but also every time the song changes, the staging changes, what happens on that stage. And so, yeah, I think Nemo deserves it. The others kind of too, but, you know, I have to make a choice. Then round number 2 is the performance. How does the artist, and for the bands, mostly the lead singer, perform? Duncan Laurance puts a lot of emotion into that song and is a great performer. Damiano, I mean, he's a superstar, and that's why Maneskin became superstars after Eurovision. So much charisma, so much energy, and everything you want. Amazing. Kalush Orchestra, lots of emotion as well. Loreen, I like that it's such a slick pop song, and it could have been too slick and too perfect, but the emotion really comes through, especially in the slower part of the song. I really love that. And Nemo, also lots of emotion there. But, I mean, you heard already, the first point definitely goes to Damiano and Maneskin. And the second one I would give to... Very difficult. They're all basically on the same level. Let's go with Duncan Laurance. Because, yeah, for a ballad, maybe that's influencing me a bit that it's a ballad, but there's so much emotion in this performance, and I just love that. Then... the lyrics. If you've been to this channel, you know that I love lyrics. Tattoo is kind of out here because there are some parts of the lyrics stuck on you, like a tattoo, ooh, and angels crying and all that. No. So Tattoo is out. The Code I like quite a bit because it tells this, you know, the symbol of breaking the code and thus being outside of the code, the ones and zeros, finding your truth in the middle, tells the story of a non-binary person, obviously. But there are some days where I think it's a bit too on the nose, maybe. Kalush Orchestra, obviously, amazing that it's an ode to your mother, but it also took a special significance, obviously. Zitti, buoni, I just love how poetic these lyrics are, how you can interpret a lot of things into them, but also how they make me feel. I made a lyric interpretation a while ago, so if you're interested, find that and watch it. I love these lyrics. So yeah, one goes to Maneskin, definitely. The other one, Arcade, is all right. It's better than a normal pop song, but I'm also not over the moon with it. So I'll give the other one to Kalush Orchestra, I do think. Then for the voice, first point definitely goes to Nemo. That was out of this world, this vocal performance, incredible. I also saw a vocal coach say that most of the performance is in between head and chest voice, which is incredibly hard to do. And every single note was 100%. Nemo is incredible as a singer, honestly. And then the other one is a bit hard, the other point, because obviously Duncan Laurance has a great voice. Damiano has a growly, almost dirty voice, which I love a lot, and which is another reason why Måneskin are so famous. Kalush Orchestra, maybe for the voice, the other four are a bit more impressive. Loreen is an amazing singer, of course, but I'll give it to Duncan Laurance. Maybe again because it's a ballad and it's just a bit more impressive because of that. Then let's get to the song, and because that's the most important part, there are sub-rounds. The first would be melody and hook. I'll give 1 point for the melody first. This is rather easy because for all the other four, it's not really the melody 100% that I listen to the song for. Maybe Tattoo a little bit, but the melody, the best melody of these five, I think, is Arcade, definitely. And then when we look at the hook, they all have a hook, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't have one. I think Zitti buoni has a few different ones, all of them quite good. Kalush Orchestra, maybe the least hooky song of these five. Tattoo, I've said that last year a few times, that this hook, Tattoo ooh, is a bit too simple for me. So I guess it's between Arcade and the Code. And to be honest, this chorus with the high parts in this song is so iconic now that I'll give this one to Arcade as well. Then when we come to the structure, I think Tattoo and Arcade are out here a little bit because they are just a teeny tiny bit generic. They're very good at what they're doing, but it's kind of what you're expecting from a pop song. Zitti buoni is incredible. So many different parts to the song, the different hooks that I just mentioned, but also this almost spoken word part where he sings so quick that I've listened to the song so many times, but I still can't do it. And I mean, it's in Italian, so that makes it harder, but still amazing. And then the Code and also Stefania, both combining so many different genres and being good at it. This is hard between these three. I'll give one to the Code because I think this is the best genre mixing song that I have heard at a Eurovision Song Contest. And there are quite a few of those, but it's just very, very good. And the other one I'll give to Zitti buoni just because it feels fresh every single time I listen to it because of the structure also, I think. And as I've said, I've listened to it quite a lot. Okay, then we have Originality. I think Arcade and Tattoo are out again because they are very good at what they're doing, but they are quite standard pop songs. I mean, the Code and Stefania, both combining so many different genres and still feeling coherent. I feel like they are very original. I think Zitti buoni is very original, but mostly I think it is original because of the structure, and I just gave them a point for that. So, well, but now I told you, 1 point goes to Stefania, combining hip-hop and Ukrainian and the traditional elements like only Ukraine can, like they did again this year. And it feels coherent and has a great message as well. Love that. And then the other one goes to the Code. Yeah, makes sense. And it's very experimental. Everyone says that. So next round is the goal. So which song reaches its goal the best? So a ballad wants to make you feel something. A rock song wants to make you angry or feel strong or whatever it is. Pop song can also be wanting to stay in your head and be catchy and make you want to dance. And so I would say that the two songs that reach their goal the best are probably not. It's hard. It's honestly hard. The first one, I would say, because it is a rock song that makes me feel strong every time I listen to it, that makes me feel like nothing matters. And I think that's what the song wants to tell you, maybe also coming out of the pandemic. Live your life the way you want, don't look at other people. And so I think Zitti buoni really reaches its goal. And then the other one, I would say, is Arcade, because it's a great ballad, or Tattoo, because I mean, it wants to be a slick, catchy pop song, and it is 100%. So I'll give this one to Tattoo, actually, because it really hits home in what it wants to do. Then the last round, and then we'll get to your points, is Airplay, and these are just the songs that I listen to the most. I looked at the first couple of months after they came out, so Nemo, for example, isn't too disadvantaged, but this is not even a contest. My most listened to song of all time is actually Zitti buoni, so 1 point goes to Maneskin, and I don't know if you saw that. I'll go back a second. The other one goes to Loreen and Tattoo, but very closely followed by Arcade by Duncan Laurance, and that means that Maneskin is my personal winner. But now let's get to your votes, which is, of course, the most important part of this video. So the country that got the least amount of your votes in the community tab of my channel with 7% was Ukraine. And this translates into 1 more point. 7% is almost 10%, so I'm rounding up. 1 point to Ukraine. And they end with a total of 3 points. Then the second least votes in our poll you gave to Loreen with 11 points. So that's also 1 more point to Loreen. Congratulations. Then the third most votes you gave to Duncan Laurance and Arcade, and rounding up, that gives us 2 more points for Duncan Laurance and Arcade, who now takes the lead. The second most amount of votes went to Nemo with 25%, which rounded up, quite lucky there, means 3 more points, and Nemo takes the lead. But I mean, you already know that your winner was also Maneskin, and if you're good at math, you know it's 42%, which means 9 more points for Maneskin, and so we have a rather clear winner with Maneskin, 9 points, closely followed by Nemo, 7 points, then Duncan Laurance, 6 points, then Loreen, 4 points, and then Kalush Orchestra, 3 points. Thank you so much for participating. However, before I let you go, I also want to show you some of your comments from the community tab of my channel about this battle. William Swindler says, at this moment, I would say Loreen's Tattoo with Nemo's The Code a close second, okay? Mostly because they are the first Eurovision contests I've watched. My God, welcome to the family. So glad to have you, William. Then Frederick says, it is strange how much I like and respect all of these songs and their quality, but they are never my own favorite of the year. I guess that means you're a real Eurovision fan, I would say. Then Brina Renison says, I know it might be recency bias, but The Code is just such an amazing song, and Nemo is an incredible singer. I was so impressed by their vocal range, and the staging was great too. Agree with that. Then ESC Chilu says, The Code is an unknown genre exploring how Nemo found themselves. Yes, movie reference. I love that. Also, that performance was the hardest in the history of Eurovision. That's an interesting thought, actually. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one that was even harder. Let me know in the comments if you can think of one. But that might be an interesting video, actually. And then Matcha Latte says, Zitti buoni, I didn't really get it at the time, but last year's ESC turned me into a fan of rock music. Okay, and now I love it. Would have preferred to see Baby Lasagna in the above list, to be honest, but still like the Code. And then Jochen says, the Code, from a mere musical perspective, it outshines all the others with the combination of different genres and Nemo's perfect vocals. Agree with that as well, and that's probably why it won the jury vote. And then Bartomiek says, Stefania is the most creative and powerful, and showing some part of the culture that is not mainstream. I agree with that. I like that about Stefania as well, but as I've said, I like all 5 of them. But yeah, this is the result of this song battle. Do subscribe to this channel. There will be more content fighting post-Eurovision depression coming out soon. For example, a knockout, ESC knockout of all the winners, and we will try to find the best winner of Eurovision. So if you want to participate in that, do subscribe to the channel, and then I'll see you for my next video. See you then, and bye-bye.